Welcome, Elif. I'm glad that you can join us and you can tell our audience a little bit about your music. Do you want to sort of kick off and tell us a little bit about your work?
I am Elif Karlidag, and this is Utkucan Eken. We are both composers, and we do have an ensemble called East London Sound Ensemble that we have been running through for a while. We do perform, do some exhibitions, sound installations, and we do some visual arts. It's really, really, really fun stuff. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, as Elif said, we have started this ensemble together, and it's more like a collective ensemble, and we participate with other musicians. But in this particular program, we'll be performing from our own place, from our home studio, and yeah.
Regarding the situation, we thought that it would be more suitable to perform together rather than involving more musicians. In this concert, we are thinking to do a cross-culture music. That's what we try to achieve with East London Sound Ensemble anyway. We try to find all this sound that's coming from East London and merge them in some sort of hybrid sound. So in this concept, we're gonna mix Turkish music with contemporary music and with some perhaps tiny bit of jazz and lots of electronic music.
Right. So, what inspired you to become a musician and a composer? Was it a particular thing, or was it just the influences around you?
There wasn't a moment that I can remember, even in my earliest age, that I wasn't involved with music. It was some sort of thing that it was always happening to me, and it just naturally emerged and naturally became my profession, I guess. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think likewise. When I was performing, I was always finding myself exploring, ideas, which maybe many musicians do. And then I was very into technology as well, like music technologies. And I explored all these like music technologies, studio environment, and I love working and creating in that environment. So, and I studied music technology, and I focused like on electroacoustic music composition later on. So yeah, that's my.
Yeah. Did your parents play an important influence in deciding whether you would be a musician and a composer? Were they musicians?
But they are both very art and music loving parents. So there was always some sort of music played. My father used to sing to me a lot. Actually, we're going to include one of the folk music that he used to sing for me when I was a child. We're going to perform that very particular piece as well. So there was always a music going on, an art going on within the family. But I am the only one who does it as a profession.
My father played the bağlama, like not as a professional,
Yeah.
but the instrument that you can see there, it's like a Turkish guitar. So
Okay.
it has a really nice, like
Yeah.
fragile sound, which I love.
Yeah.
Traditional father is the student of one of the biggest Turkish composers called Ahmet Adnan Saygun, which I think it's an incredible composer. So what he does involve some traditional Turkish music to his compositions, sometimes very visible, sometimes not so visible. Hence, as being the grandchild, I think I have it in my compositional technique that I always include some sort of Turkish moods or some rhythms or some folk songs somehow. But rather than that, I mean, being a Turkish person, we are always involved and we always hear this music, and it's impossible that knowing or without knowing, having it within our system and having it taken out in our music, isn't it?
Exactly. And yeah, likewise, because you born into that culture, and and you learn and you hear. It's like, like as you learn the language, you learn the music, and you grow.
Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah. What about being in London? Did you find the sort of cross-cultural influences with the different communities, the diverse music, world music around, different musicians? Did that sort of influence you in the way you work?
I think it's really important what you said, like the cross-cultural thing, and this is what inspires us as well. I mean, in this program, we're gonna especially focus on Turkish music because we are both Turkish musicians, but we do love to collaborate with musicians from other cultures in this ensemble, and also interpret like contemporary classical music with using traditional instruments as well. So all those cross-cultural thing, creating dialogue between cultures is always very inspiring.
Yeah.
We, for instance, performed and produced one of Michael Nyman's work in C interludes together.
With many other musicians, of course.
Yeah.
We do write music together a lot as well. Sometimes he writes something and then I add something on top of it. Sometimes I write something and he adds something, and sometimes we just do it together from to the end. But we do have some separate projects as well.
Great. Well, thank you, Elif. That was brilliant. And we look forward to hearing your music very soon.
Okay. Thank you.